up, y'all? Welcome back to the Hustle and Harmony podcast. I'm Emily.
I'm Julia.
And we are so excited to have y'all back for another week. We are very sad, though, to announce it's going to be the last episode of season 1.
Season 1.
Just season 1, yes. It just seemed like the perfect timing. Go back from Australia, and we're kind of settling back in for a second before Julia goes on the second half of her spicy tour.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing my audiobook launch, and we're going to be heading to the holidays. So we definitely will be doing a season 2, and we're so excited to see where we all are for that season.
Mm-hmm.
And we will obviously keep you updated, but for now, this is going to be the last one.
I think it's so funny how it's like settling back in, and yet I am going to be living out of a suitcase every single day for minimum the next month, but really the next like 2 months.
Why don't you tell everyone just like what you did today too?
I will, but I also want to like just acknowledge the reason that we're breaking this into seasons is because of the entire point of this podcast being Hustle and Harmony. We need to focus on 2 really important things in our careers right now. Mine is this spicy tour that's going to be every single day. Pretty amazing experience, but also a grind. Yeah. And for you launching this audiobook and starting your first few months in this world of discovering what the next steps are and being a pro runner, we not only need to focus on those 2 things for the rest of, October, middle of November, but then it's our holiday time with our brand new baby nephew for the first time and our parents. And it's just going to be really fun for us to be all focused, all in on these things that we're doing just for the next couple of months, But y'all won't be able to keep us shut up for too long. Don't you worry. We'll be coming back with lots more for you. And we have a lot of cool ideas for ways that we want to make season 2 even better. I know we've learned so much about each other and ourselves and, what y'all are liking from doing this first season. And personally, I know that it would mean the world to me if y'all would tell us what you want to hear more of, if you have any thoughts and any, critiques or anything like that. It's just going to make season 2 even better. And we want to do this, obviously, for us to hang out and for us to get to share these things. But it's really for y'all. Like, we want to make sure that we're putting things together in a way that you can enjoy. So I'm going to start the episode off with that. And then I guess kind of the craziness of why this season is wrapping up at this exact time. I'm having the most wild week ever. And I was telling Emily when we first got on this, like all the things that I did today. My producer and I, and my videographer and my day-to-day manager and I, we have worked so hard the last 3 days finalizing so many things that had to get done before I leave town for a month, because we've got music coming out, we've got content that I can't create, from Florida or Arizona or California. We finished an entire new EP of music, tons of new songs, music videos for 2 Christmas songs, for 2 other songs that are coming out. All of that happened this week, on top of cutting vocals, and I mean it was just an insane amount of communication that all happened.
And how many days?
So really the last 4 days it's been intense, because I had shows this past weekend too, so I was out of town in Florida, like you said, or maybe you hadn't said that yet, but yeah, no, I have 3 back-to-back weekends in Florida. So last weekend, then I have it again this weekend, and I'm just staying there for the next.
Okay.
Because I have 5 shows in Florida coming up this week. So I'm going Tampa, Sanford, Gainesville, Panama City Beach, and actually I think it's just 4 more, and the last one that I had was in Tallahassee.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's amazing. I love that you're getting to see everyone in Florida.
We're doing the Florida thing, and I'm actually going to get to go to the beach this time too. So
let's go. In which city?
I know. I'm really excited. I just pulled my earphone out. I just freaked out.
I literally remember you talking about your college requirement being somewhere by the beach. And then you did go somewhere by the beach.
I know. That's where actually I played last weekend. It was Tallahassee. That's where FSU is, and that's one of the schools that I toured. And that's the only school that I got gear from. I have these random FSU Nike shirts that I still have.
I love it.
feel this weird loyalty to them, even though I have nothing to do with the school. But Tiger went there, so I guess now I
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit of.
I remember we had ACCs there, and I was like, Tiger, I'm at your home.
Yeah, Tiger's my day-to-day manager. For those of you who might not remember from other episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what my next month is going to be, and just a quick overview of what a day on the road looks like. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
this.
it's pretty wild. It obviously depends on how far your destinations are between, but there's going to be commute in the morning, however far it needs to be. So however early you wake up is based on how long the drive is. So sometimes you're waking up at 4 a.m. to get to the next place on time. Sometimes you get to sleep in because it's only 2 hours between, 3 hours between. So you're like, all right, cool. So wake up, travel. So hopefully you got your coffee and breakfast. We pretty much go to Starbucks every single day.
Yeah.
And find one. It's like our
Starbucks
mission.
literally fuels your entire tour.
I keep their lights on. Like
Egg bites.
I am obsessed with their breakfast is just so good. The egg bites are so healthy. They're so easy to eat in the car and like delicious. So good. But so you start out with the travel, and we pretty much go straight to the venue for sound check. Every single time, like that, we don't leave the hotel until we know that that's about how our timing is going to work out. We try to get there about 30 minutes before load in and sound check. Yeah. So then we get there, my crew loads the gear onto the stage. They start doing a sound check while I can just kind of do work on my computer and stuff until they have everything set up. And then I go up and check. We have in-ears that we check all of the different sounds for levels, basically, on how high do we want our vocal, how high do I want the click track, how high do I want his guitar, my guitar, all of that different stuff, the bass, like whatever. And then the front of house engineer is checking all of those same tracks, but for the room. And it has to be mixed differently in every room, because if a room is mostly metal or mostly outdoors or glass or whatever the venue, the sound is going to be handled completely differently. Yeah. So that's another step of your sound check, basically. Okay. As soon as that's done, we head to the hotel, check in. I, usually get my mile a day done then if I wasn't able to do it before we left the hotel in the morning. And then...
how long does sound check usually take?
It usually takes them about an hour to set things up, and then it takes me 20 minutes, sometimes 30. If everything's going well, 20 minutes I should be good to go. Because they've already checked everything before I get up there. I'm just like, the icing. I'm like the last piece of the puzzle. They have everything working already.
Yeah, once they get all of the foundational big pieces put together.
Everything's plugged in, all that stuff's already done by the time I get up there.
That makes sense.
We usually do a little bit of filming, so there's content we're making during sound check, and then also content that we're making sometimes before the show. If the city has something cool in it, we'll go film at that location. If I have a meet and greet before the show, this doesn't happen at every show, but sometimes when we have them, those are usually about an hour before the first performer starts. So if there's an opening act or something like that. And those usually last, 30 minutes, maybe an hour. And I usually eat food right after sound check because I can't eat right before I sing. Nobody wants somebody having to burp in the middle of a set. Absolutely not. So I eat right after sound check, and then I don't eat again until usually after the show. So I have this pretty big gap of just getting through my actual job, and then I try to save whatever the dinner was that they had that the band could probably eat, and I save that for after the show.
Is the timing between sound check and your show usually about the same, or is it super different?
It can be very different. It's totally dependent upon how long the sound check takes, how far away the hotel is. So you lose a lot of time if it's a far away commute. And sometimes we've played some venues where there's not a hotel within 30 minutes, and it's so.
Oh, I remember whenever I came to your show in Florida, and I had to go work out at the hotel, and it was a 45-minute Uber, so you couldn't go back to the hotel after sound check.
So I always pray that there's a good green room at the venue, because sometimes if it's a
Yeah.
far, like, we'll just stay at the venue and just
Yeah.
finish the show and then go to the hotel. But we're not always that fortunate. Sometimes there literally just, like, isn't a green room.
Yeah.
But it's usually fine. And yeah, then my set is usually somewhere between 8 p.m. and 9:30. I usually don't start past 9:30, but if it's like a bar scene, they want someone playing, later in the evening, so those
Yeah.
can be later. But
Gotcha.
usually not before 8.
What's your favorite time of the day to play?
I don't know, but I'm getting pretty comfortable with my set to where I can do it at any time.
Okay.
Like, I don't like when it's super late.
Yeah.
But 9:30, I'm done by. It's a 90-minute set, so, you know,
Dang.
yeah, it's a 90 minutes of up there just rocking and rolling. But my set started at 9:30 last weekend, and it was fine. Like, I wasn't too tired or anything like that.
Okay, that's good.
But sometimes I got radio shows that are at 5 a.m. So, like, those are harder, I think, than a late night show.
You're literally superhuman. I don't know how you do it. Like,
Whatever, coming from you, like, I run 60 miles a week.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of superhuman.
It's a different grind for sure, but it is. Sometimes I do get mind blown at what my schedule is. I'm like, wow, I can't believe we did all of that.
Yeah.
Like
even today.
It's crazy.
You did like a bajillion songs in the studio.
And we filmed 2 videos before that. Like,
yeah.
And you're going to be so mad at me. I had a show last night. It's a hurricane relief show for...
That's so amazing you did that.
We raised like $50,000 last night.
No way.
It was great. It was Struggle Jennings,
that's
Taylor
incredible.
Holder, Demps. There was a bunch of friends who performed, and it was really cool.
Wow.
But I ended up not leaving there till 1:30, and I had to be up at 7.
Dang, that is so amazing y'all did that though. Like,
it was a great event, and
for those who are listening, it was for Hurricane Helene, right?
So that's it was at Live Oak, put on by like Uncut Experiences, what's called, and my friends Colin and Chase run it. They're great. So I was really glad that there was a show getting put on that I could come and be a part of, and it just happened to be right before I leave for tour, because otherwise, a lot of these events are happening after I leave, and I'm like, I'd love to be a part of it, but I'm booked in another
You'll city. Literally be all over the country.
100%, yeah. So that's my crazy month. Let's talk about your audiobook launch, and what does that entail? Like, what do you have to do?
So it's pretty simple, because I'm in charge of a lot of the logistics behind my book, because it's pretty hybrid published. It's not completely self-published, but I do a lot of the actual work for it. It was this program called the Creator Institute, by the way, for anyone who is thinking of writing a book. This program is amazing. The Creator Institute is a class through Georgetown. It was put on by this professor who literally wanted to democratize the book publishing industry and give authors 100% ownership over their books. And he partnered with the publishing company, and he made it happen. And I actually heard about it by joining a Discord during my gap semester, and someone posted it in there, and I was like, actually, I would love to do that. I had only wanted to write a cookbook at the time, and it ended up turning into this guide to sports nutrition. But yeah, that class is amazing, and they walk you through the book writing process from beginning to end. So I just opted in to also do the audiobook portion, and for this end part, basically I was recording all the chapters for the entirety of my track season. They sent all the audiobook equipment, and I had the option to have someone else record it for me, and I just couldn't do it. It had to be my own voice to read my story. Oh my gosh.
That would have been crazy if someone else had been reading that story. I would have lost it.
So yeah, I was literally in my closet recording the different chapters during track season after I got back from a long runner practice or something. And I sent them all in, and they like went through and edited, gave me feedback. I had to go back and then re-record some things that didn't sound great. Sometimes I just like cut out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually had to re-record the first 2 chapters like 3 times because I kept like
Wow.
messing up the. That was even before I like sent it in, and that was literally just because there was like some cryptic setting in the depths of my computer that I could not figure out. And I was like, I watched the instruction video, I did everything right, set up, like it shouldn't sound like this, and it sounded like I was underwater. Anyways, we got it figured out. I have the
How
whole thing.
how long does a chapter take to record? And let's get like context. As a chapter, how many pages and how many hours basically?
Well, it definitely took me months, but that's not because it was because I was reading for months. It was just because it was hard for me to find time where I could read it for like at least an hour. And my 2 other roommates were like quiet and didn't have friends over.
Totally.
And I was like not having a meet and out of town that weekend. So it
Right.
was hard to actually find the time to sit down and get it done, but that's why it ended up taking so long. But I would say it probably took me about an hour to an hour and a half to read every chapter. And it's a 200-page book, and it's introduction, 8 chapters, and a conclusion. So about 20 pages.
Would it be so weird if I were to ask you to like read part of your book on our podcast today?
I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like you could read just a little piece of it, and it's like obviously what they're about to get if they just go listen to the audiobook. But your intro is so cool. I don't know if you have like a favorite 2, 3 pages, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
Sure.
Yay!
I just ordered 150 copies to my apartment. So I'm ready for the launch.
I love this for us. I also have a bunch of copies of your book at my house.
Nuh-uh. I
Oh,
took
they're
them.
gone.
Yeah. You were like, can you please take these? So I took them.
Well, no, I just need them to be in the world having love. They don't get any love in a closet here.
Yeah, no, I sent them out to people.
Yay.
Don't to worry, not to worry. I can read the summary, and then I can read a piece from it.
Okay.
So this is the summary. Oh, the beginning of it's so dramatic. This is hilarious. Salt is bad for you. It's impossible to drink too much water. Right? Wrong. Very wrong. These are a couple of the many intricacies of sports nutrition that are less commonly known but can be life altering. Duke All American track and field athlete Emily Cole learned this the hard way. In the Player's Plate, Emily helps fellow athletes realize just how different their nutritional needs are from the general public and equips them with tools to find their optimal fueling plan. Through personal anecdotes from Olympic medalists, World Series and Ironman champions, registered dietitians, and others, you will learn fundamental sports nutrition lessons, including those that extend beyond one's physical plate. Key performance enhancing concepts include a guide to macros, supplements, and confusing health labels, the importance of eating your meals with others and finding balance in the kitchen, protecting your body image and mental relationship with food. Equipped with these concepts and whole foods recipes to put each of them into practice, The Player's Plate is a necessary read for anyone hoping to have a long and healthy career while enjoying delicious food. So what I did for so there's like, whenever I was recording, oh my gosh, this is so funny. This is the book for Stu. Stu, I love you. Anyways,
That's amazing.
when I was recording, I had to choose what like 5-minute segment I wanted to be the preview for like whenever people are trying to see if they want to listen to it on Audible. And so I can kind of piece together that it won't be 5 minutes long. But basically, I have this little segment where I recap the whole 2 days of me like going into my coma. And my poor family, I was like, guys, listen to my audiobook, it's finished. And I said to them, Julia's like, I hate you.
No, I just cried. It's the
Cried.
saddest thing that's ever happened, like ever.
But
Except you're okay, but like
yeah.
it
But
was
we made it through.
scary.
So close your ears.
No, I'm looking at your face alive and well, so it's okay.
November 2nd, 2018. Hour 1. With a pounding headache and final sip of ginger ale, I lay my head down and try to rest. Hour 2. Everything is black, but I vaguely hear a friendly voice. Hey, Emily, can you swing your legs off the side of the bed for me? Can you tell me your sister's names? What year is it? Hour 24. Half awake, I try to roll over on my side, but my wrists are cemented in place. I can't move. I thrash around, trying to rip my arms up from the sides of the bed, but my efforts are in vain. Tears run down my face. I finally give up and accept defeat. Hour 48. Blue eyes, drowning in worry, meet mine. They are my mother's. She is sitting in a chair next to me. As the frame slowly comes into focus, I see my family surrounding me and feel the grip of my mom's hand in mine. Emily? Emily! Guys, she's awake. My sister Julia calls out from beside her. I am in Austin for my state cross-country meet. Why are my sisters, who live in London and Nashville, here? I'm then faced with my father's brown eyes, glossy with fatigue. Finally, I'm able to find my words. I can see the hospital gown and myriad of cords everywhere, but I ask anyway, where am I? As he brushes away a tear, my dad responds in his warm, raspy voice. Hey, Em. There's a 5-second pause that feels like eternity. You had an accident. These are the only memory fragments I have of the scariest day of my life.
Oh my gosh.
And then what I did for the preview was I just went to, towards the end of the introduction, I just go through the same progression of hours, but I say like what was actually happening. So I'll read those really quick.
Okay.
Finally able to piece together the blur of that weekend, I learned that hour 1, my seizure-like convulsions were from my muscles aggressively cramping up. Hour 2, the questions I heard were from the paramedic escorting me out of my hotel room. Hour 24, the feeling of being glued to the bed was my parents and several nurses trying to hold and eventually strapping me down to the hospital cot as I thrashed around and ripped out my IVs. Hour 48. I was face to face with my family, who flew from across the world to Texas because I'd been unconscious for a dangerous number of hours and showed no signs of waking. It is still hard for me to internalize the fact that if my coach hadn't woken me up to check on me that night, it is likely that I would not be here today. I couldn't believe I nearly lost my life simply from not eating enough of this popular ingredient many people try to avoid, salt. This was the moment when I fully internalized that healthy is a much more intricate term than our society acknowledges.
It's so good. And it's so true. Oh, okay, so do you have a link you're going to put in your Instagram bio that everyone can find it just while we're at it? Because I'm sure everybody's hooked after that.
Yes, absolutely. It is going to be out on Audible and Amazon, and I'm publishing it on November 2nd, actually, the 6-year anniversary of my coma and the 2-year anniversary of the hardcover and softcover books publishing. So I'm really, really excited to put it out. I think it's going to be a completely different experience than reading the book itself, and so many more people are going to actually get to read it because we're all so busy these days that audiobooks are just so much easier.
Yeah, it's so nice, especially for me on these road trips. Like, I've been going through all of the Harry Potter books,
A lot of
and
driving.
I am crushing these audiobooks. Like, I have blown through.
Which one are you on now?
I'm on book 6.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm rocking and rolling. Like, every 15-minute car ride I have anywhere, I have
That is
audiobooks.
so fun.
It's so fun. I just get transported to Hogwarts I don't even mind drives. Like, I had to go switch out I got the new iPhone, so I went to trade in my old
how
one.
is it?
I literally just got back from doing it.
Okay.
Like, it's sitting in a bag in front of me, so I haven't even like switched over my number yet or anything. But the drive, the offices, whatever, closer to us they close earlier. So I had to go to Brentwood or Franklin, which is just like a little bit further away. But I was like, that's just a little bit more Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It really
And
is.
the good thing is too, if you're worried about it like actually ending and you won't have more Harry Potter to listen to, book seven's really long, so it makes it a
So
little
is
bit
book
better.
six, and
Book
so is
six is
book
long
five.
too.
Book
Yeah.
five took me a long time to get through, so it's that's my
Which one's your favorite so far?
um I think I'm really enjoying the fact that I really truly had never even seen the movies or heard what
That
happened
is so
next.
crazy to me.
For me too.
It's
I
literally me watching Friends. It's the
yeah.
same thing. It's crazy.
But I even thought I had watched all the movies. Like I knew I didn't read all the books, but I thought, of course, with my friends growing up as a normal person, like
Yeah.
those movies had been seen. And then I realized I don't know what's gonna happen next. Like I truly have not seen the movies. And I only had seen one, two, and three. So
Wow.
four and five right now are tied for me just because I'm just so into the story, but I'm enjoying six now too. And because of my age, I think I like the later ones more too, just because
Gotcha.
more
They get older.
mature stuff is happening in the books.
Yeah.
But I wonder if I had read them, in elementary school when everyone
Yeah.
else did, if it'd be different.
You're gonna inspire me to listen to the audiobooks from beginning to
It's
end.
really fun. I've had a blast getting, reconnected with the rest of society because I'm just behind.
Yeah. No, I remember like we talked about in the last episode how we were listening to it on the beach, and that was like such a core memory. Like,
It
what?
was
It's so
pretty
cool.
cute. That was pretty cute.
And the narrator does such a good job of switching between all the voices. Like
Mm-hmm.
whoever he is, kudos to him. He deserves an award.
We'll find it and shout him out because he's wonderful. Actually, I'll probably have it right here.
Yeah, it was like if we're gonna find it, it's gotta be now.
Narrated by Jim Dale. Great job, Jim.
Shout out Jim.
Jim Dale. You got it like that. All right. So you wanted to do Rose, Bud, and Thorn for this
Yes.
episode, and I think I said them out of order. So you explain, like Rose and Thorn is the normal thing, but explain Bud,
Yes.
which your team created.
So the order, the only reason that I said Rose Thorn Bud is because I don't think anyone should end with their thorn. Like I think that's lame. So I feel
Okay.
like it should be like Thorn Bud Rose, but that doesn't sound as good.
Yeah.
Anyways, Rose is something good that's happened in your life recently. Thorn is something a little bit harder, tough that you had to get through, and then Bud is something you're excited about coming up.
Okay.
So my team invented the Bud part, and we would always do it while we were on runs, and it's one of my favorite things ever. So I guess I can go first, even though I haven't thought about this. It's gonna be super on the spot. I've been back in Durham now for like 2 weeks after Australia, and it's been so nice having this time to just like get my life in order and chill. I have just a bajillion, that's not a word, like just things around my apartment just to do that I've just been putting off for more than 2 years, at least 2 years, like just like organizing things and getting like I literally all my decor was still from literally my freshman dorm room. And I'm living in an apartment off campus. It was my 5th year last year. I'm now gonna have been in Durham for 6 years. So like I got this
Wow. Six
poster that's a
years.
map. That's a big upgrade for me.
Huge upgrade.
I put some gold pins on it of like
Turn
where
your
I've
camera so we
been.
can see it in the vertical shot. There we go.
So I put these gold pins too for like,
Where
oh,
you
I'm about to show
been?
the Australian.
So cool.
So yeah, anyways, I have just loved having a little bit more time to slow down, and I'm definitely going to start helping with the Duke distance program a little bit while I'm here in town. I've been going to some of the practices with the Duke post collegiate sprint girls, and I love them. Like it's been so fun to train with them for a little bit, and everyone's like what the heck? Like, why are you with the sprint girls? Your distance, it's just like, it's so weird. Like, it's not what people usually do. But anyways, I haven't gone to like the actual Duke distance practices yet, just because I was like, I need to first of all get over jet lag for the first week, and then just like get my life put together a little bit. So that has been absolutely lovely. I feel like I'm getting to slow down and just get some Emily time for the first time in a long time, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
I can say from my experience, Emily time is the best time. It's a fantastic time.
I don't know about that, but you make me blush. And then my thorn, I don't know, life's pretty good right now.
That's a good problem to have, girl.
um, I will say,
You just miss me so much. You're
that
devastated
actually,
that you're not in
yes,
Nashville with me. Perfect.
that is my thorn, that I am not going on the second half of the spicy tour with you, because I got to go on a lot of the first half. Um, and my stupid little planter that I'm having to rehab and stay here and work with all my people to get it back again is making me not be able to travel as much anymore and be as adventurous as I have been. So, I will be there in spirit, I
Yes, you
promise.
will.
And my bud is,
And yours can't be the audiobook and mine can't be the spicy tour.
yeah, correct. I agree. My bud is Thanksgiving. It's gonna be
Oh
so
my
fun.
gosh, I so want to steal your bud.
You can steal it. Oh, I'm so
Oh,
excited to see everybody. It's gonna be so amazing.
yeah, no. Thanksgiving's gonna be unreal, and it's gonna be the first time that our older sister is bringing our baby nephew and her husband. So Martin, Kristen, and Jacob are gonna come to Texas. But on top of that, our cousin Ashley also had a baby with her amazing
Yeah.
husband Sawyer, and like we have two little babies now that we get to finally have like holidays to. I just can't wait for Christmas times with them too, where we can
I
start
know.
just. Oh, I like remember when mom and dad we thought they were like reindeer on the roof because they were like they would
Yeah.
put they would go up on the roof and make noise, or they would put little for Easter like little bunny like paw prints all in powdered sugar on the pool table, and
They're
like that's
simply the
gonna be so
best.
much fun. We get to start doing that in, I mean, this year they're too young for that, but in the next couple of years
Yeah.
that's gonna happen.
I do miss a good like Easter egg hunt too.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so fun. Oh, when I was going through those videos for the Daddy Daughter Dance music video, all of our
Yeah.
old home footage, I
Yeah.
saw so many of our Easter egg hunts.
Oh
Like
my
all of
gosh.
them. I saw everyone that we've like ever had.
That is so
They were
cute.
pretty epic, honestly.
Okay, what are your rosebud thorn?
Okay. Rose. Rose, I think there have been a few good things. Um, many, many good things. What's the one that I want to make my rose, though? I think my rose is going to be the way that my song Daddy Daughter Dance is still just blowing my mind because of people's connection to it. It's so much bigger than having anything to do with the music industry, or it's just people are emotionally connected to it. And even last night we're playing a writer's round and I start playing that song and everybody else on stage is singing all like they know the words,
Wow.
and
I just
they're
got
artists,
chills.
you know. And I just got a video of a daddy daughter dance that's probably, 200 people. It's dads and little girls from some school somewhere, and they're dancing to the song. They're all playing the song. And it's just
Oh my
crazy because these
gosh.
videos keep coming in of people's weddings for their father daughter dance, and I'm just getting, obviously the longer the song is out, the more people are having weddings, daddy daughter dances are happening because the school year
Yeah.
started up. Like all that stuff is starting to happen now, and I'm getting
Wow.
feedback on who it's really reached.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know it's 50 million people have seen it on socials, but when you see them dance into it in real life, it just
It's
hits
different.
so different. And
Yeah.
that's gonna be my rose, because Tiger just sent me in one of those videos today of like the actual daddy daughter dance, and I just can't believe that
That is so beautiful.
it's real, and this song is
Yeah.
gonna be a big important part of people's lives. Like, I think of Butterfly Kisses and how
Yeah.
big that song is for our family, just between dad and us three girls, and
Yeah.
this song is gonna be that for a
That's
million
so
people.
cool.
It's really cool. It's mind-blowing. So that's my rose. And
That's a
then
really great rose.
thanks, I'm really excited about it. And then my thorn, I kind of had a little bit of food poisoning. It wasn't
No.
super bad. It was just one night, but that wasn't super fun. So, you know, is what it is. But other than that, I mean, life's pretty good right now. Like, this tour, I'm trying to, mentally prepare for the lack of sleep, and how many hours, sheer
The
hours, I'm
grind.
going to be on the road. It's a lot of hours. Like, I've got 12 hours tomorrow on the road, one day, and that's to
Wow.
start the tour. So, like, before we're even exhausted, that's how we start it.
Yeah.
So, and that's to go to Florida again. We've got shows in California, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
and this is all, nothing is a flight because it's routed. So we're just driving
So
everywhere.
crazy.
It really is insane. So I'm excited about it, and it's gonna be great. But that, I guess, is a second little, I guess, the nerves maybe, or a thorn of just handling my body, handling that kind of. I don't want to get sick. That's like, and when I meet
Yeah.
so many people every day, and I'm just exposed to. I'm gonna really try to keep hand sanitizer around, because every tour I feel like I just get sick, and I'm like
Yeah.
battling my voice. So I'm just kind of praying about that. And
Yeah.
then my bud, what I'm excited about for the future. I'm really excited for the holidays in general, Thanksgiving for what we all just talked about, but I'm definitely going to be leaving the country again, because obviously that's just what I do. And I meant to say this earlier because I don't remember if we talked about this in our travel episode or not, but did you add Australia to your Ben app?
I don't have the app.
Okay, so I wanted to show you and everyone, if you haven't seen it yet. But this app is called Ben. I know it's a little blurry, but it's just BEEN, Ben. And it's like a yellow square with a white map in the middle of it. And when you plug in where you've been, it shows you
Oh, that's so
everywhere you've
cool.
gone. And I've seen
It's like a
11.
map, and the highlighted areas are like gold that she's been to.
Yes, sorry for those of you who can't see this. But I've been to 11% of the world,
Wow.
which is just an interesting way to
That's
look at
so
it.
cool.
Yeah, I've been to 28 countries. So,
Wait, where are you going for Thanksgiving?
so I was talking with not for Thanksgiving. I'm coming to Texas for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But
Good.
but before Christmas, I'm gonna go. I was talking with my friend Morgan about maybe going to Belgium and France,
Oh my gosh, so fun.
because I've only been to Paris and France, and I'd like to see some other places
Yeah.
and go back to Paris, but I've never been to Belgium, so I'm always down to cross a new place off the list, especially because we just
That
met all of
sounds
our
so
friends on
fun.
the boat too. I'm sure some of them would be around, and
Yeah.
we'd have some fun tour guides. So we'll figure it out. I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
excited. I'm excited to not know exactly where I'm going and what I'm doing, but I
Yeah.
never. So the music industry kind of has a lull in the winter, and I have 2 Christmas songs that are coming out. They're just Christmas covers, but for the most part, if you're not putting out Christmas songs, the music industry is like, we've got the CMA Awards happen in November, and then it's holidays. People do not want you bugging them during the holidays, and if you release new music that isn't Christmas music, it's just going to get overshadowed by everyone playing Christmas music for an entire month, which I love. I want there to be that break. I used to think it was annoying. I'd be like, why is no one answering emails and blah, blah,
Right.
blah. And then I realized, hustle and harmony. There's a beautiful cycle to how crazy this industry is. Our summers are insane, but our winters, everybody in this industry pretty much gets to spend Christmas like where they want to spend it. You know, there aren't a ton of Christmas tours. So
I'll
that's gonna
also
be cool.
say it's so cool to see how like you've been able to create and like manifest your like dream situation too, because you've been talking about wanting to be able to travel so much, and this is you making time for that and like making it a priority and being like, hey, this is when the music industry slows down, so I can do my traveling like during this time, and you're gonna get to like experience and like honor that part of yourself too, and just
Mm-hmm.
go adventure and not be artist Julia, and that's so cool.
Well, I am very, very much so looking forward to it. I can't believe it, Emily, but I think this is the end of season 1 right here.
I know. It's so crazy. It's so fun. Also, we're at like 4,995 followers on our Instagram
Oh
account for
my
the
gosh.
podcast, which is so cool because it's going to be such like a big milestone for us to kind of get through as we're wrapping up season 1 and just like see how it continues to grow afterwards too. I put something on my story being like, it's so fun starting something new and being able to celebrate all the little milestones along the way, and it's kind of like a reminder to anyone listening who's been thinking they want to start something new, whether
Mm-hmm.
that's a business or a podcast. It's like to just do it. There's never going to be the perfect time to do it. And it's going to take hard work, but it will be so rewarding, especially if you like intentionally celebrate all the little wins along the way.
And you're going to feel so proud of yourself and so excited about learning a new skill and
Yeah.
doing a new task, because even between the two of us, I know that by the end of season 2, we're going to look back at the end of season 1 and be like, "Oh my gosh, can you believe what our first season of a podcast was like? How hilarious." But also, I'm so proud of us for just doing it. But I've learned so much, and I already have so many big ideas for how I want to make things even better for the listeners, and you do
Yeah.
too. We've had so many conversations about it, and it's just going to be so cool to get to launch our second season with all of the knowledge we gained from first season. And every
Yeah.
single person who wants to go start something new in their life, that's literally how it works. And it's
Yeah.
difficult once you have gotten to a point in your life where you've put time and energy into things that you have finessed the skill, and then you try to go back and start a new thing where you have not finessed the skill yet, but you're like, I could be spending my time doing this thing I'm already good at because I spent 10 years learning how to be good at it. But if you don't put the time into the new thing, you're not giving it even a chance. It might be 10 times
Yeah.
better than the other skill set that you had. And it's a brave thing to start something new, and I hope that through this podcast, if the information on it helps anybody, I hope there was at least one person inspired to just go out there and chase a new dream, go after a goal that they previously had counted themselves out on already. And if that has been you, we read all of our DMs. We'd love to hear your stories. And
Yes.
again, any questions you have, any suggestions for our next season, we're doing this for y'all. So I'm just really excited to keep connecting with y'all. And I think if we hit 5,000 followers on Instagram, we're gonna have to start season 2 with a giveaway.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
gonna be crazy.
Thank y'all so much for being here. We're so grateful for y'all, and it's been so cool, even just like how much of a journey it's been in just season 1. So cannot wait for the future. Hope everyone
Love
has amazing
yous.
holidays.
Love you, Cole team.
Love you, Cool Team. Bye.
Thank y'all so much for listening to this episode of Hustle and Harmony.
Please leave us a 5-star review or comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on socials at Julia Cole Music and at Emily Cole.
We'll love you forever either way, and we can't wait to see y'all next week.
See y'all then.